Alright, so it's early 2023, which means that the race for president in 2024 is just starting to get heated up, and Donald Trump is the clear forerunner for the Republican nomination, despite the media's best attempts. Both the left-wing and right-wing media have been going against him hard, so hard. Even Fox News is trying to, quote, make him an unperson, as Rupert Murdoch says, because they correctly identify the right-wing media moguls. They correctly recognize that Trump's brand is so toxic that they cannot win a general election with him. Trump, you know, he barely won the Electoral College the first time he won, and then, you know, in 2020 he lost, and then he still has not accepted his loss. But, you know, Trump is just so much better than all of the other people running for the Republican nomination. Because Ron DeSantis, he's trying to replace Trump. He's trying to do Trump's thing, but he just can't do it. Nobody can beat Trump better than Trump himself. The right-wing media is trying to replace Trump with DeSantis, but they just can't do it. He just can't do it. What does Ron DeSantis have? He has the sound bites. He's got all he has is like the culture war issues. He just hops on whatever like culture war talking point is trending on Twitter that week, right? He did the gas stoves thing. He did the CRT. He did the gender, the don't say gay bill. He did the trans shit. He did like banning like drag queens. But that's not enough, okay? You can't win an election just on culture war shit. You gotta have a bold, clear vision for the future, and that's what Donald Trump is presenting to us right now. And it's what he won on in 2016. Now, is his vision of like what America can or should be good? No, it's terrible. Trump wants to, you know, drag us back into the dark ages. Is it achievable? No. Trump couldn't even build his border wall, right? Trump could not get done like barely anything that he said he's going to get done. But it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. What matters is that, you know, it's inspiring. It's an inspiring message for the American people. And what does he have? Well, here it is. Trump proposes a bold national vision for America. Use federal land to build new cities. Develop flying cars. Revitalize rural industries. Launch a baby boom with bonuses for young parents. Beautification campaign. Get rid of ugly buildings. Okay, so it's very like fashy, right? It's giving off fascist vibes. Get rid of ugly buildings. Like, I'm all for beauty, right? But you know, what they mean is like return to like neoclassical architecture, right? That's what Trump tried to do that in like 2020, like in the end of his presidency when he was a lame duck and like he was just like losing it, right? He did like an executive order that everyone ignored, and Biden immediately just like said like, hey, you don't have to worry about that, Jack, right? So, and of course, flying cars, dumb for all sorts of reasons. Launching a baby boom, you can do that by improving the economy instead of just like, you know, it'll take more than just a bonus to incentivize young parents to make babies, right? But let's see what he's got. A quantum leap in the American standard of living. So, does anyone know what quantum means? Hold on. I swear to God, quantum is like the new buzzword, right? It's like the buzzword, it's been like the science buzzword ever since like, I don't know, 2016 or 17. Like, now, like, when people think of quantum, they think of like advanced, like cool shit. They think of like parallel universes or some shit. Apparently quantum is like a required or allowed amount, especially an amount of money legally payable in damages. So, yeah, I don't think that's it. Or a discrete quantity of energy proportional in magnitude to the frequency of the radiation it represents. Yeah, so it's like, a quantum means like a quanta of energy, right? So, by a quantum leap in the American standard of living, does that mean like it's going to be like it's just going to jump from one level to the next without a transition in between? I guess that sort of might make sense in what like the vision that Trump wants to do. Like, he wants to just like, you know, build new cities, and American standard of living is just going to go from here, boop, to here, no in between. Just gonna go straight up. Of course, even if that were possible, I don't know if that would be quantum. Anyways. Yeah, people just see the word quantum and be like, hell yeah, brother, that's, Trump is, getting into quantum shit now. I love it. Anyway, let's see it. Agenda 47, because he's going to be the 47th president. Yeah, I guess he would be the 45th and the 47th president if he wins in 2024. That would be weird. Yeah. Trump is just an anomaly, and I love him.
Past generations of Americans pursued big dreams and daring
projects.
Absolutely impossible. They pushed across an unsettled continent and built new cities in the wild frontier.
The wild frontier.
American life with the interstate highway system.
Yeah, just glossing over the genocide of Native Americans. Classic Trump, like, you know, classic American nationalism. Like, we conquered, we tamed a wild continent and that shit, right? Yeah. Plus, you can't just say like, yeah, the genocide was good. We should have just like genocided all the natives. He's got to be like, hey, it's got to be done. Hey, look what we did. Look what we did to the continent. Look what we've built. Hey, those Native Americans, they weren't doing anything with it. Now were they? They're fine. I employ many Native Americans at Trump Enterprises.
Magnificent it was, and they launched a vast network of satellites into orbit. Magnificent it was, and they launched a vast network of satellites into orbit all around the Earth.
Vast
but today,
network of satellites.
Our country has lost its boldness.
I mean, yeah, America has launched a lot of satellites, but, you know, other countries launch satellites too.
Under my leadership, we will get it back in a very big way. If you look
big
at
way.
3 years ago,
a very big way. We're gonna get it back.
What we were doing was unthinkable.
Unthinkable.
Good it was, how great it was for our country.
How great it was. We used to be so great, and we're gonna bring that greatness back, baby. Is Ron DeSantis gonna bring that greatness back? I don't think so.
Our objective will be a quantum leap in the American standard of living.
Quantum leap.
What will happen. Here are just a few.
That's what will happen. What does that mean? What does a quantum leap mean exactly? Well, I'm not gonna tell you. You're gonna see it when you find out. You're gonna find out when it happens. When it happens, you're gonna be, holy shit, this is some quantum shit over here. This is some quantum shit we got going on over here. Hey, and I'm loving it. That's what you're gonna say. You're gonna say, we're winning so much on the quantum realm. Like, I'm tired of winning. You've never seen so much quantum stuff before, believe me.
We can do it. Almost 1/3 of the land mass of the United States is owned by the federal government.
Yeah.
With just a very, very small portion of that land, just a fraction. 1/2 of 1%.
1/2 of 1%. Starting to sound like Bernie Sanders. The top 1/2 of 1% of land owned by the federal government can be used to house 90% of the population.
To charter up to 10 new cities and award them to the best proposals for development.
10 new cities.
We'll actually build new cities in our country again. These freedom cities will reopen the frontier, reignite the frontier imagination, and give hundreds of thousands of young people and other people, all hard-working families.
Young people and other people too. We got to get the young people in here. I mean, I imagine it would be like if Trump were to like build new cities, it would be like all the conservatives would just flock to them, right? All the young conservatives, they would just love that shit. They would be like, yeah, we're moving to Trump City, baby. Honestly, building new cities is a pretty cool idea, honestly. Whether or not it's a good idea doesn't matter, okay? What matters is that it's inspiring. It's cool. Building new cities. Yeah, Trump is sort of right. When was the last time America actually built anything new, right? When was the last time America just like boldly marched into the future, right? I mean, Native American genocide aside, of course, like we gotta like do something like launching to the moon, right? Like in the 1960s, right? We gotta do, yeah, this is like a sort of kind of new space race, but it's the city race. But yeah, I don't think it's a good idea, honestly. Like, you can't just build new cities out in the middle of nowhere. Unfortunately, it's not how it works. That's not how cities work, right? Like, if you wanted to build a city, I mean, cities sort of just like naturally occur, right? But we'll get into that.
A new shot at home ownership, and in fact, the American dream.
A new shot at home ownership. So you're saying build new housing so that people can afford new housing? I mean, can't you do that without building like new cities? I mean, honestly, yeah, building new housing, that's great. But that should be like the left-wing position, right? It should be the left-wing position to say like, oh, we have to build new housing to reduce housing prices so that people can afford to pay rent, right? Yeah, and it's disappointing that like Trump is like speaking to the American people in a way that like the left wing should be, right? The Democrats should be on top of this, right? The Democrats should be the ones advocating for reducing housing prices and solving like the rent crisis. Yeah, the rent is too damn high, but what the hell are you going to do about it, right? Yeah, honestly, yeah, building new housing is a great thing, but like, just like a lot of Trump's policies, it's like there's like a kernel of truth in there. There's like one good thing in there, but like there's a bunch of other crazy shit, right?
Another big opportunity is in transportation.
Transportation.
Of major companies in the United States and China
China.
Vertical takeoff and landing vehicles for families and individuals.
Vertical takeoff and landing vehicles. So yeah, flying cars.
Just as the United States led the automotive revolution in the last century, I want to ensure that America, not China, leads the revolution in air mobility.
Revolution in air mobility. So yeah, this is where the flying cars come in. So yeah, there are all sorts of reasons why flying cars are a dumb idea, right? The most basic thing is that like regular cars, the cars that we already have, are already way too wasteful, way too energy intensive. It's hard enough to like propel a car on wheels on the ground, just make it move like horizontally, but to make it move vertically, to like lift that 2-ton chunk of metal off the ground and have it fly around, do you have any idea how much like energy and fuel that would take? Like, I don't know how you would, I guess you could like use rotors like drones. You could have like one giant drone with like 8 rotors, 8 helicopter rotors on it. But like even that, like helicopters are like way too damn expensive to fly. Not just to build, but to fly. Like, well, hold on, can we see? Wait, helicopters are less fuel efficient than airplanes. They actually use more fuel than airplanes, considering everything else being equal. That's kind of surprising, yeah. When helicopters are traveling slow, they need more energy to hold their weight. When traveling fast, their rotor drag is very high. I guess, yeah, airplanes kind of like glide on the air. Airplanes have wings, right? So they're kind of like being held aloft. Yeah, because airplanes, they travel fast, right? And so by traveling fast, they're generating lift on the aerofoil of the wings. Like, because like helicopters, they generate lift with the aerofoils by spinning them around really fast, right? It takes a lot of energy to spin the rotor around that fast. But the airplanes, once they start going fast, they don't have to like move their wings around. They just like glide on the wings. They use the speed to generate the lift, right? So yeah. How much MPG does a helicopter get? Roughly 15 to 17 gallons per hour it burns. High octane leaded fuel, similar to what you might put in a car. More fuel efficient small piston engine helicopters burn at a rate of 5 to 20 gallons per hour, while larger ones burn at a rate of 15 to 1100 gallons. Oh, those must be like the the big helicopters, the ones with like the two rotors, the ones that are like cargo or personnel carriers, right? So, yeah. Airplanes must carry enough fuel. They're able to carry less fuel and only need to carry enough for the trip, plus 20 minutes extra. Okay. So anyway, unless we invent like a new source of fuel, like unless we invent like nuclear-powered cars, or we solve like fusion reactors and we get like unlimited electricity energy, like there's no way we're gonna like have flying cars. There's no way. Like, again, the kernel of truth here that like it makes this inspiring is that like, yeah, transportation in America is fucked, right? But like the solution isn't better cars. The solution isn't driverless cars or electric cars or even flying cars. Definitely not flying cars. Like Americans' imaginations are so limited by what we know. It's like, we can just build fucking trains. We can build trams. We can build like all these other countries have so much better infrastructure than America already. It's like this already exists in other countries, right? We just have to look to other countries to see like, oh, they have trains that travel at like 200 miles an hour, and we can build a train that runs from like New York to Chicago in like 4 or even 3 hours. Right now, a train ride takes like 12 hours between those two cities, right? We can build trams. We can build trolleys like they have in like these guys. Isn't this so cool? It's like a bus, but like on a track, and it's got the electric wires above it. I love him. Look, it's a wide peepo. Happy. It's so cute. We can have this in real life. But no, I don't know why we need like flying cars. We don't need flying cars. The solution to traffic is not traffic in 3 dimensions. Traffic in 3 dimensions is not going to be an improvement over traffic in 2 dimensions. That's the other thing. Like what happens when your car breaks down, right? If your 2-dimensional car breaks down, then it just stops in the road. Possibly if you stop like on a freeway, then that's a problem. You can get hit. But you just get out of your car and you call someone for help. What happens if you suffer a malfunction in a flying car at like 5,000 feet or like 1,000 feet or even 100 feet? If you fall that much, it was in a new episode of Attack on Titan. Now, cool. If you fall that much, like, you're just gonna fucking die, and your car is gonna get totaled. Just like if one of your rotors or whatever breaks down. Yeah, like, what would a flying car even look like? Would it be like a drone? Okay, so here's a theoretical drone car. I think this is a prototype. This one actually exists. A lot of this is concept art. As you can see, they have... no, there are 8 rotors. See? There's like... These are 2 right here. And these are just barely big enough to carry 1, maybe 2 people if you squeeze in really tightly. I mean, yeah, this looks like 2 seats. Yeah. Look at these gigantic freaking helicopter blade. I mean... They're not as big as helicopter blades, but you need like 4 of them. What is this? It's like a tiny car. Oh, here it is. You see, you can lift it up off the wheels. Again, this is just concept art, right? Okay, this one looks real, but it's got like 8, maybe more rotors, and it's barely enough to lift up 1 person. Because, like, you know, people are heavy, right? And you can only generate so much lift. It's hard to, like, lift up that much weight. Right? Okay, so this is real, but is it working? We don't see a video of this actually working. This is just a prototype, or maybe it's just a model. So yeah, what happens if just one of these rotors fails? if one of these rotors gets jammed or something, will it just all come crashing down to the grounds? Yeah, I want to see the fuel efficiency on one of these, too. Oh, this looks... Okay, this has the wheels on it. Yeah, this is just futuristic. Okay, this is just like one chair with like 4 helicopter rotors on it. I mean, it is kind of cool, in theory, but like, it's pointless to even talk about it. I mean, it's a cool idea, but it's not going to happen. But the point is that like people are talking about it, right? The point is that Trump is talking about it, right? Anyways.
These breakthroughs can transform commerce, bring a giant infusion of wealth into rural America,
infusion
and
of wealth.
Families in our country in new ways. Likewise, through our Strategic National Manufacturing Initiative, which is going to be very big and very, very successful.
Very big and very, very successful. 2 successfuls. Yeah, we're going to be too successful for you. Believe me, you're going to be tired of all this success you're going to be having. Right?
We will turn forgotten communities into hives of industry, producing the goods we will no longer import from China. We will also have a major initiative on lowering the cost of living with a special focus on lowering the cost of a new car.
Oh, that's nice. But like, I mean, yeah, that would be fine. But like, yeah, this is a classic like Republican and especially Trumpist talking points. Is like, yeah, this would all be great if you could do it. Like, I don't think anyone would be against like revitalizing American industry, but like, yeah, how are you gonna do it? Oh yeah, and he made this promise like in his 2016 campaign, did he not? He promised he was going to bring back American manufacturing, and he did like a bunch of like photo ops and stunts where like it was like he went to one factory and he's like, I did it, I saved the factory, I'm bringing all these jobs back, all these jobs, they're gonna go to Mexico, but I'm keeping them right here, folks. Well, it turns out he kept them there for like a few months, and then they went to Mexico. The plant closed down and a new plant opened up in Mexico because I guess Mexico has cheaper labor. But he got the photo op, which is the important bit, right? Yeah, what did he say? Like, how was he going to bring it back?
The hives of Strategic National Manufacturing Initiative, which is going to be very big and
Strategic Manufacturing Initiative, which is going to be very big and very successful. Believe me, it's going to be much bigger and more successful than anything I've created when I was actually the president, right?
Very, very successful.
Very.
We will turn forgotten communities into hives of industry, producing the goods we will no longer import from China. We will also have a major initiative on lowering the cost of living with a special focus on lowering the cost of a new car and
I mean, yeah, lowering the cost of living, great. But like, how are you going to do that? Also, like, yeah, we just talked about like cars, right? We talked about how cars are like horribly fuel inefficient, and you know, we need to focus on like more public infrastructure and transit solutions, right? Like trains or trams, especially. Like those are the big ones, of course. Or making more walkable communities. Oh my gosh, yeah. Like, how walkable are these new Trump cities going to be, right? I'd imagine in Trump's mind, they're going to be like cars. I mean, of course, they're going to be flying cars. I'm sorry, like I forgot about that part. Yeah, they're going to be flying cars. So there's going to be a bunch of cars everywhere, but no traffic involved. Yeah. He's going beyond Elon Musk here, right? He's like, Elon wants electric cars. I say, why not flying cars? Electric cars are not going to happen, or self-driving cars are not going to happen, anyways, right? If we're making up imaginary things, why not go the whole way, right? Yeah. I mean, even if electric cars were like a feasible thing, and they might be, Like, we should focus on moving away from car-centric infrastructure in total, right?
Lowering the cost to build a single-family home, and they will be beautiful homes. And I will ask.
They will be beautiful homes. Yes, everything. Once I'm president, everything will be beautiful again. Believe me, big, beautiful buildings.
Congress to support baby bonuses for young parents to help launch a new baby boom.
Baby bonuses.
Finally, I'll challenge the governors of all 50 states to join me in a great modernization and beautification campaign.
Okay, so baby bonuses, right? Like paying people to have babies. I think other countries do it. Yeah, I think Russia especially like pays people to have babies, right? Which is, yeah, very Russia of them. But yeah, I think you're going to need to do more than that to incentivize people to have babies, right? I think just being like, hey, we'll give you $5K if you have a baby for us. Like, why not start like improving improving childcare, right? You can make it easier to have babies, right? Like, why are people not having babies right now? First of all, I think people are having enough babies already. Can we check? Okay, so America is at 1.64 births per woman, which is, I mean, not great. It's okay. I mean, it's above population replacements. Or actually, it's not. Actually, yeah, because there's got to be a man, too, to impregnate the woman. But, yeah, this was the baby boom when we were like 3.6, 3.4, and then actually we were below 2 for a while. Then we were hovering around 2, and then we dipped. Actually, when did this... It started to dip, like, after the financial crisis. Yeah, so, of course, Japan and China are, yeah, also having issues, and we're kind of above them, but, like, I think America is doing okay, right? The fertility rate is okay. But it has gone down, and for tangible reasons, for clear, like, financial reasons, like, the birth rate is going down. Because people just can't afford to have kids anymore. Like, it's harder to have kids. It's very hard to have kids when, like, everyone has to work all the time, right? Like, it's hard to, like, form families, like, form relationships and then form families when, like, you can't support a family on a single income, right? You have to have, like, both parents working, or if you're lucky, you have one parent that has, like, a very high-paying job, but, like, those jobs just, like, aren't around as much anymore, right? Like, very few families, like, have that luxury. And, of course, the birth rate is down for, like, all sorts of other reasons. It's just hard to have a child in America, right? Like, you can start by, like, improving the state of childcare, right? Making it easier to like take care of a child, or if the woman has to be working too, if she has a job, because they have to have a job to support the family. Just make it so that there's a place for you to drop off your kid, like daycares or childcares, right? So that there's some way to ensure your kid is safe and in a nurturing environment. And of course there is maternity leave. That's the other big thing. Like, if the woman has to have a job to support a child, then you kind of have to have, like, maternity leave so that they can actually take care of the child. Like, it's like right now, so many people just can't afford to have a child. That's why, like, abortion is such a big issue, right? Is because, like, if you get pregnant and it's unplanned, you didn't plan to get pregnant, then your life is, like, ruined. Your life is, like, fucking over, because, like, you have to, like, having a child is such a great financial burden in America. Oh my god, how much does it cost to, like, have a child? Like, just, like, in medical bills alone. Oh my god. giving birth costs about $18,865 on average, including pregnancy, delivery, and postpartum care. Health insurance can cover most of that cost. Most of the cost, okay. But of course, like, what if you don't have health insurance? What if your health insurance does not cover certain things? What if you have shitty health insurance? How much does it realistically cost to have a baby? Okay, $19K, but again, health insurance covers most of the cost. Yeah, why don't you start there? Why don't you start at improving the state of healthcare in America, right? So that when you get pregnant, your first thought is, oh God, how am I going to pay for this pregnancy, right? Like, that's a pretty fucked up thing to have to worry about, right? Why don't you start there instead of just like, I don't know. I guess if the baby bonus is large enough, it would be enough to pay for that, but still, like, there are ways you can start instead of just like throwing money at the problem, right? Let's finish this.
Getting rid of ugly buildings, refurbishing.
Getting rid of ugly buildings.
Our parks and our public spaces.
Okay, that's okay. Like, refurbishing parks and public spaces, that's great. But like, that requires more government spending, right? And I thought they weren't for that.
Making cities and towns more livable, ensuring a pristine environment, and building towering monuments to our true American heroes.
Towering monuments to our true American heroes. I wonder who he means by that. Who are the true American heroes? The soldiers who are fighting in what war? The soldiers who were fighting in Afghanistan, maybe? Yeah, I mean, I'm all for beautification. I mean, I'm for beautiful things, of course, I am. But when these people say, like, get rid of ugly buildings, they mean like modern buildings. They mean like return to like neoclassical architecture. That was the thing that Trump did, right? Like, at the end of his term, when he was like falling off and he was a lame duck, and he was just like going crazy with all sorts of shit. He was like, we're going to build big, beautiful Roman columns. We're gonna have him just like they used to, the neoclassical architecture. And it's like, it seems that it's giving off kind of like fashy vibes. I think I said this before, but like, yeah, it's very like sussy. It's very like, these new buildings, they're not good. We gotta return to the good old buildings, like they were building in Germany in the 1930s, if you know what I mean.
Very importantly, I will also make sure all of these new places are safe. We love and cherish our police. They will do
there it is.
The way they have to. It is time to start talking about greatness for our country again.
Greatness for our country.
Dramatically increase living standards and build a future that brings our country together through excitement, opportunity, and success.
Excitement.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Trump. Of course, yeah, he had to throw the bit in about police, because he's gotta be pro-police, of course. He's gotta make sure all these places are safe. Yeah. Of course, like, again, how is he going to do this? How is he going to build all of these great monuments and like clean all of the make sure they're all like clean and refurbished? That would imply like a lot of government spending being done, right? Especially if you're like building a new city out of scratch, building several new cities out of scratch. That would cost like probably tens or hundreds of billions of dollars in new infrastructure. I mean, if you're developing flying cars, like, you're probably gonna like send like tens of billions of subsidies to Tesla to like make flying cars. I mean, Trump would, because he loves Elon, doesn't he? Yeah. Yeah, like, it's, again, like, it would be nice if he could do that, but like, how is he going to pay for it, right? The Republicans are all deficit and debt hawks, right? And, you know, Biden has reduced the deficit. He just bragged about reducing it by over $1 trillion. Wait, can we look it up? Whoa, okay, so of course the deficit spiked in 2020 and 21 because of COVID, but then it dropped, but it's actually like still higher than it was in 2019, so yeah, it's still going up. Projected deficits, yeah, it's projected to keep going up. So like, if you're a Republican, you would want to be against any new spending, right? Ironically, this is sort of like the Republican criticism of like Bernie Sanders or like leftist politics or like student debt cancellation. They said like, oh, you're canceling student debt, you're literally buying votes, which is just politics. Like all politics is like saying, hey, we'll do this thing for you if you elect us, right? Well, we actually had a surplus in like 2000. That's crazy. Oh, probably because of Bill Clinton, right? Maybe. Maybe the US was just doing better back then. But, like, yeah, how are you going to pay for all of these new projects without, like, somehow raising revenue? Oh, yeah, Trump cut taxes in, like, 2017. That was one of the first big things that he did when he was in office, or that his Congress did. And he projected that, like, oh, if we cut taxes, it's going to spur so much growth, it's going to spur so much economic activity that it's going to make up for the taxes that we lose. Because, like, if we tax people less, then they're going to make more money, and then the U.S. economy will be more prosperous, and so we'll get more money in return. Of course, that did not happen. We can see right here, 2016, and then debt kept going up and up. And of course, yeah, COVID wasn't entirely Trump's fault, of course, but like, it was going to keep going up. It's not like the economy was going to all of a sudden improve so much that the deficit would start going down. No. No. But of course, it is inspiring. I don't think, yeah, any other Republican has what it takes to beat this kind of messaging. Because this guy said the GOP messages the same old garbage like fiscal conservatism and small government, while Trump presents different ideas and a plan of action. No wonder so many of these establishment's crooks want him gone. GOP, at GOP, saying fiscal, clap, conservatism, clap, fiscal conservatism. Yeah. Not exactly inspiring. 381 likes. L. Yeah, not exactly inspiring hope for the future. Government should be so small you don't even realize it's there. Fucking, like, 2009 Tea Party talking points. Wait, Tea Party was before then, right? Yeah. Anyways, in conclusion, Trump is back, baby. Trump is more back than he's ever been. And, I'm looking forward to 2024. It's going to be one hell of a year, and we're getting ready for that. So, yeah, see you in the next one.